Let's finish with the on-topic questions first.
Are you worried it would interfere with Trump?
As to the question of whether he could be arrested for similar activities, our position is those activities do not violate the law. So, the government would have to show he had in fact violated the law. All the judge found was don't violate federal, state, or local law. He did not say that protest activity did violate it.
And as I indicated at the court, I'm mostly worried about just driving below the speed limit. So that's my main concern for not violating state or federal or local law. My staff hates it when I say that. As I've said in the past, I'm very seriously considering a run for Congress in the 10th Congressional District where we're standing, but I haven't made any final decisions yet. I mean, these are urgent times when ICE agents are abducting our neighbors and Donald Trump is stealing the money from New York City's bank account. And I think people are looking for leaders who will put their bodies on the line. So I'm very seriously considering it. Have not made a final decision. I will let you know when I do.
Thank you.
Any more on topic? On topic.
So I just want to get your thoughts on the mayor saying the other day about how he would stop homeless encampment sweeps. And a follow-up to that, what should the city do if someone refuses temporary housing? Should those kids stay?
So the mayor-elect is exactly right on this issue. We conducted audits in the Comptroller's office of the homeless sweeps, and in the more or less year that we evaluated, we found that 2,308 people had been forcibly removed from where they were sleeping that night by city officials, either NYPD or Department of Sanitation or Department of Homeless Services. Of those 2,308 people, 3 of them were connected to permanent housing. The vast majority just moved somewhere else that night. They didn't get any help. They didn't go to shelter. As I recall, 100 and some odd out of the 2,300 went to shelter for even one night. And almost none of them were connected to housing. The homeless sweeps are not connecting people to housing and services. They're simply moving people from place to place, taking their stuff. It is a waste of taxpayer dollars. In that report, we outlined recommendations for what it would be to actually give people services, to offer them a path to housing, to build relationships with them by the things that social service agencies do. Give them socks, give them warm clothes. So we recommended that the sweeps be ended, and I'm going to count this as the first recommendation from the Comptroller's office that the Adams administration ignored, but that the Mamdani administration is taking, and I'm thrilled to hear it.
In regards to the encampments, though, what should the city do with those tents? Should they disband?
Well, there's a few things to say here. First, what works is a different approach than the Adams administration is taking. When you use a sweeps approach, you break the trust down. We're often talking about folks who need some trust built, some relationships developed before they're ready to come inside. And social service organizations know how to do that. If you use this model we recommended of housing first, where you say to people, if you want a night in shelter, we can get you in shelter. If you don't want shelter, but you want a pathway to permanent housing because that's what you need, let's talk about it and start working on it. It works 70 to 90% of the time all around the country to get people off the streets and stably housed. So that's the model that works. What doesn't work is this homeless sweeps. Now, in terms of whether an encampment is violating rules or not, it depends whether there are tents up, it depends where they are. In many cases, though, what we found was they weren't violating any rules. They were simply being forcibly displaced because that was what the policy of the Adams administration was. So, look, if people are violating the law, violating a rule, that's a different question. That is not what we found the sweeps doing. And if you look at what the Adams administration says the purpose of the sweeps is, they say the purpose is to connect people to housing and services. It does not work. It's a waste of taxpayer money. And we found often that the encampments just set right back up because somebody got moved, they went a couple of blocks away, they got moved from there, and they just came right back. What works is to connect people to housing and services, and that's what I hope Mayor Mamdani will do.
Talking to people in the district, and also, as you're nearing the end of your
What are your thoughts around not serving in the city government the next year?
The 10th Congressional District is my home of many years, so I'm always talking to people in it. Currently, it's where I live, it's where I work, it's where we're standing now. So that's not really preparing. That's just living my life. And I'll have more to say soon on my decision there. I do. It's funny. Today I spoke at the City and State retreat for incoming council members, and I found myself very nostalgic for my days in between getting elected to the council and when I took office. I have loved serving this city. I loved serving it in the city council and representing my neighbors in the 39th district in Brooklyn. I have loved being controller and looking out for the retirement security of our public sector workers and for our budget and having oversight of our agencies. 16 years of my life representing the people of New York City in all kinds of ways. So I feel really proud of it. But it's a stewardship job, controller especially. You're hanging on to that retirement security to pass it along. A first-year teacher or a rookie cop who started this year, hopefully they serve for 25 years and then they'll retire, and they need their retirement 25 or 30 years more, decades out, we're talking. So you inherit that job from your predecessor, you do it the best you can for the years you have it, and you aim to hand it off better to the next person. And I feel very optimistic about those new council members coming in today and about Controller-elect Levine and Mayor-elect Mamdani. So I do feel, some nostalgia, emotion about that service, but I really, especially at these dark times nationally, feel very hopeful and optimistic for the city. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you all. Oh, yep. Sorry, go ahead.
I apologize, I was late. As I saw in your law journal, I had a couple of questions.
On the legal issues?
On the local you previously indicated that you intend to take this case to trial. That's still the case?
Yes.
I was wondering, given the lack of docket, my understanding is that this is a very rare circumstance that hasn't happened for maybe 30 years. Will the defense team please share copies of your submissions with the media?
Certainly, if we're allowed to by the court, we will. Of course, the media can also request public access to the filings, but if we have the court's permission, of course.
And then, sorry, just for me, this is not going to be entertaining. I don't understand how to describe how you were charged. Is it a summons? Is it a notice? What is it actually? What is the threat?
We received a ticket for a Class C federal misdemeanor, also referred to as a petty misdemeanor. Petty offense, excuse me.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Regular clinical like me, very offensive.
All right, thank you.
What is the criminal?
Great, thank you. Yeah, is that okay? It's probably
I sleep like a